you've got John Kingston sacked. How guilty do you feel?
Mate, not guilty at all, Kingston Town, mate. I think I've done him a favour.
Okay.
Because I was worried about you. I was more worried about him. But it weren't me who got him the sack. My good mate, influencer, best bud, Joe Marleybone. I think he got him the sack. Apparently he's run up the stairs and he's saying to them, it's him or me. It's him or me. He's coming on the show, so we can ask him.
Oh, should we get him on the show now? Should we dial him up? Well, we're now joined by Joe Marler. Thank you very much for joining us, Joe.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello, friend.
Hello. Who am I talking to then? Who's on tonight?
So you got Andy Rowe in the hot seat, and then you've got
Not been sacked yet then?
no, not being sacked. Still wearing my glasses.
Trying to
Joe.
get rid of him.
And we've got the Dominator, Jim Hamilton, mate. You know who I am, mate.
Oh, Big Jim, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah, body's fresh now. Body's fresh, not too sore. Not too sore from...
What do you mean, from what?
Well, running over boys back in the glory days, mate, last year.
Fuck me,
Champions.
broken. Are you still
He
going?
still goes on about it, mate. It's horrendous, isn't it?
Look, I've had a little break from like all this rugby chat and that, and you're still fucking banging on.
Mate, look, do not bag winners, mate. Mate, winners
No,
are
I'm
winners,
not-
mate.
Well, I don't know many winners, to be honest with you, mate. But I'm not going to bag you. I'm just going to say, look, just freshen things up.
Mate,
You're a decent guy. You've got some decent chat about you, but
thanks, mate.
keep going with the same fucking thing.
Joe, I like your hair, mate. I do. I like your hair. I'm
What
loving
do you mean, my hair?
Mate, I'm loving it. I'm loving the look.
I haven't had a mohawk in fuck knows how long.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That mohawk was a disgrace. I'm loving your hair. I'm loving the look. I'm loving the vibe.
No, I think I need a last hurrah.
Joe.
I think I need to do it for a little bit and then just go full upside down head bick it.
Mate, you can't have Mohican, mate, when we get nosed every week, mate. It just doesn't work, mate.
Joe, it hasn't been a great week or so at Quins.
No shit, Sherlock. Well done.
What's the mood like, and like what's it like being in the camp at the moment?
What's the mood like? It's a bit of a weird one, to be honest. Obviously, the club made the decision to part ways with JK, but he's still here until the end of the season. And again, we got pumped again at the weekend, so it was like, well, they're making a change there, but maybe it's us that actually have to leave. All jokes aside, no, I don't mean that. Don't be spreading that. I kind of need a job. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird situation. As it stands, it's not been a great season, but we've got to put some pride back in the shirt. It's that old cliche, but we were fucking dreadful against London Irish, and we weren't just dreadful because we were dropping the ball or missing tackles and stuff like that. We were bitching and moaning at each other, and things had really gone to shit. So we've addressed it to the point where we've got to give it our all for the last 3 games, and we try our hardest to get the wins, but it's about the fight that we can put up for the rest of the season.
Well, Joe, I know how to fight, mate. You're not answering that. But rumours were after the London Irish game, I know you were pissed off, mate. I'm sure a lot of the boys were. But is there any truth in the rumours that you stormed up the stairs into COO's office and kicked the door down and said, mate, there needs to be change? Is there any truth in that or what?
You think I have that sort of power, mate? Like, you've seen some of the Barnets I've had over the year that you mentioned, and I'll have any control over anyone at the club of Harlequins.
Well, I don't know. I actually quite like it, mate. The fact that you're outspoken and you talk like you do on, or type like you do on Twitter.
No, the truth of the matter is, I used to live with a lady that works.
Hey up.
Here we go.
Yeah. See, why do I tell the truth? The truth is never existed. I used to live with a lady that works in the office at Quins, and I saw her in the stands, and I popped up to see her because I hadn't seen her for a while, and that was it.
I love that.
But then it was made out to be, he's gone up to like shout abuse at the coaches and stuff like that. I was like,
yeah, that's a way better story.
Yeah,
Much better story.
well, maybe
you make up your own story. That'd be sweet.
Well, I don't want to say that you smashed down the door. That's all I'm saying. So we'll just leave it at that.
Mate, obviously, how did you guys find out about Kingston leaving? Did they pull you into a meeting? What was it on an email? What was the crack?
They told us the same day that. When was it released? On Monday. Yeah, they just told us Monday after the London Irish game.
Was Kingston Town there? Was he? Was he there in the meeting when he was telling?
He was the one who told us.
Oh, was he?
He was the one who told us.
Oh, fair play.
and he's fronted up with it, and he said, ultimately I'm the director of rugby and I take responsibility for it. And mate, John's been at the club 17 years, and the things he's done for the club shouldn't be forgotten just because we've had a really shit season. He's a wonderful coach, and he's a great man that is loved the club for so long, and I'm sure he'll continue loving it. But it's professional sport, and players come and go as do coaches now, more often now.
Yeah, that's true. And obviously, looking at the coaching setup, do you think it got a little bit too comfortable with people that have been ingrained in the Quins way for a long time, with obviously John Kingston, Mark Mapletoft, new coaches in Nick Easter and Nick Evans, who have just gone straight from playing to coaching the first team? Obviously, there's an outside influence there with Graham Rowntree, but was it a little bit too comfortable for everyone and not really challenging each other?
I don't know from a coaching point of view whether they were challenging each other enough in a positive way. From a player's point of view, I can speak that perhaps we got, we've discussed it, that we got on. We're a tight group, believe it or not, and that's probably been a bit of a downfall, that we haven't been pulling each other up on cutting corners. We'd probably just rather cover our mate's arse as opposed to calling them out about bits and bobs. So I can only speak from the player's point of view that maybe we ourselves need a shake up and stop being so comfortable with each other and be a bit more happy to have the peer-to-peer sort of calling out.
And what about coaches coming in, like possible replacements, leadership group?
I don't know really. Who's out there? Have you got? Do you know you lot are in the mix, aren't they? Like you lot all know. I don't mean you're in the mix for the jobs, because
Absolutely no chance. I've got too many jobs, mate.
Well, we got Dorian Westersack. We got Nobby the sack at Northampton. Apparently, he's keen for a bit of tops off mauling, mate. You up for that?
Is Nobby gone from?
Yeah, end of the season gone.
End of the season, mate. So him.
Where's he going to go then?
Quins.
I think Quins. No,
with Malander.
I think Jim Malander and him are going to Ulster potentially. But I heard Scotty Robertson might leave the Crusaders and come over. Obviously, that link now with New Zealand.
Is Scotty Robertson the breakdancer?
Yes,
yeah, mate. He's the one. Is. Legend of a bloke. Good friend of mine.
Bloody hell, Andy, what's he like, mate? You've been a bit quiet.
He's a very successful coach. Very successful coach. He's coached the Canterbury NPC team well, and he's coached the Crusaders to a victory in their first season. So he's got the success behind him, and he coached the Barbarians last year, which is where you met him, wasn't it, Jim?
You're such a Kiwi rugby nose,
isn't he, mate? But if you get on rugbypass.com, you go through the video archives, you'll see me and him having a break dance off. Basically, I say me and him. He don't dance.
I'll be sure to look that up tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure. Please, mate. Please tweet me, and let me know. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, no, I will.
Obviously, towards the end of the season now, a couple of games left for Quins, but the big tour to South Africa with England. You'd be looking forward to getting on that after missing a couple of games during the Six Nations, would you? What are you laughing at? Mate, I'm teeing you up here to say, please pick me, Eddie.
Eddie listens, by the way.
Yeah. I don't even know what was the question?
Basically,
Argentina. Do you want to go on tour and pick up the cash or not?
Buenos Aires Blacks.
South Africa. They're going to South Africa, mate. What are you on about?
Why is he saying Buenos Aires Blacks?
It's a great coffee shop in Buenos Aires. It's called Blacks. It's a
lovely,
great establishment.
Coffee shop.
Yeah.
Only problem is they're touring South Africa.
Yeah,
are they?
He's probably wanting to go for another story about himself. Go on.
Yeah, go on, Jim. Tell the story.
Well, if it's South Africa, mate, there's this place called Night Fever.
Night
Pay
Fever.
25, it's effectively £25 to get in, or you can drink. I'm not too sure Eddie will let you get in there.
I don't know about the tour. Like, obviously, I'd love to play for England. Everyone always wants to play for England, but that's always out of my control. If he wants to pick me, he can pick me. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Like, that's life. But it'll be our tour.
All right, Joe. Hey, thank you so much for coming on the show, mate. Always a pleasure.
Absolute pleasure. Great to speak to you all.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. Thanks.
When we getting the scrap on with Jim, you still keen?
I thought that was like put to bed, or does he still want to?
He still wants it, mate.
I am in incredible shape at the minute.
If you want to see his arms, mate? They're like a couple of noodles.
I'm putting it out there, mate. Look, with pound for pound, no holds barred. It's just a straight scrap with no weapons.
Yeah.
I'm beating fuck out, yeah.
Oh,
Easy.
come on.
I agree.
Are you drunk? Have you got a week off? He's drunk.
Here. I agree.
He's drunk, mate.
I'll do it. I know you've got length and stuff like that, but mate, I cheat. at everything.
He's got
So
noodle
I'm
arms.
getting you. I'm getting you.
Mate,
Jim's got noodle arms.
I'm all about length, mate. I'm all about length.
We've got zero length.
Mate, we'll get it
after.
on. We'll get it on soon, mate. Charity.
One day.
For charity
When I
one day.
retire next year.